a special episode. Crazy that it just so happened to work out like this because we are on episode 50 to start season 3 to start the 50th season of Spurs basketball. Guys, what how do y'all feel about having 50 seasons of Spurs basketball? What's your how like just what's the excitement bringing to y'all whenever you hear 50th season of Spurs basketball? Juan, I'll let you start off this.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. I'm 24 years old. I've been watching the Spurs, like, as early as I can remember, sitting on the couch with my dad. But, like, just to think that it was only twice my age, that they've been doing this. And I got to be a part of, like, the most successful run as well is, like, awesome to think about. Even though I was, like, I don't know, 1 years old when we won the first championship. But hey, I was here for all of them. But yeah, to celebrate 50, that's what those were one of those cool moments and like the seasons, right? Like this, I know the Spurs have like a lot of things planned during this year, little events and promotions just to promote like the history, the culture, the impact on San Antonio. We all live in the area except for Jake because he moved away. But we're all gonna get to feel that like kind of special feeling in the air, just celebrating like what the Spurs have done for our community. I could not imagine the San Antonio area without the San Antonio Spurs, and for them to be there for 50 years, or for like however long, just like that impact and what they bring to the community, bring us all together, like that is a special feeling, and to know we have plenty more years to come. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. And you know, just bonding over like Spurs basketball is something that something that we've done obviously our whole lives, and it kind of stems from like our dad, right?
Mhm.
And so I think of, yeah, it's like, dang, we're entering kind of the eras that he was coming up in, and so as part of it makes me feel a little old. All the throwback stuff, I'm like, dang, it's not throwback to me. I remember
Yeah.
those days. So there's a lot of emotion tied tied to the 50th season. I echo all the stuff that Juan said too, though. Like it is going to be fun to just be along for that ride. It came at the perfect time, the 50th season, because this is kind of like our final, like, remember the good old days kind of season. Hopefully, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Whereas on the basketball court, we're going to be still searching for like who's taking us into the new era kind of thing. Um, so it's gonna be. I'm ready for it. I'm super excited for all the development we get to see on the court. I'm fortunate enough to I have tickets to go see them play the Warriors in Alamo Dome this year, so that's gonna be great. The school that I work for, we're gonna go and play pregame for for one of the games this season as well. So um, I'm always attached to the Spurs on the court, but there's just more reasons to be attached to them off the court this year too, which is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm super
Yeah,
excited.
for sure, for sure. And I know just to kind of shout it out a little bit. There's like one thing that I think Bill and Sean said on this last preseason game. I think Bill had said that they're gonna have like 50 10-minute segments uh, of like interviews and whatever to like talk to like the people of Spurs past, right? And that's exciting to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did the math, and I want to say that's like 6 hours, 6 hours of content or something like that. It's a lot. It's a lot, or maybe I might be like just a little bit off on that. It's definitely more than a couple hours of content that we'll be
Did he
getting.
mention where it would be at? I mean, probably just like their YouTube channel or something.
Yeah, I mean, he said it'll be coming out through the season just on the games and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And so then I'd assume that it'll probably, after it shows up on the game, then it'll go to YouTube shortly after, right? But it's exciting to hear that they're they're going to be doing a lot of stuff to honor 50 seasons. And I'm the youngest out of all of us, so it's definitely one of those things where, yeah, I really didn't even get to see us. Like, I got to see us in 2014. That was like kind of like the year that I was really starting to watch basketball. It was like 2013, 2014. And like, that means that everything before that is considered, like, kind of not necessarily old, but just like a little throwback, a little bit of like this, like, oh, I didn't watch this firsthand. This is something for me to learn. This is something for me to, like, experience for the first time, kind of stuff. So there's a lot of Spurs history that as much as I do like to read up on Spurs history, there's a lot of Spurs history that I don't know yet, being
Mhm.
as young as I am. So it's super exciting to see this 50th season, to see all this stuff come up. And I guess like the one thing that we didn't mention with the big 5-0 was David.
Right.
This is 50th episode, and we are mentioning our Spurs past, stuff like that, and David was definitely somebody who kept the name going for as many years as he could. So
Shout out.
Chris, yeah,
Shout out
Chris,
to David.
you were pretty much the only one that got to watch David firsthand. So
Well, I'll bring on another one too, just to kind of let him chime in and intro for the season and everything like that. So bringing on to the stage our fourth brother.
oh shoot, there
Yeah.
he is.
What's up, boys? What's up?
How
I'm
you
good.
doing, Josh? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little late to the party, but it's all good. I'm here now.
Yes,
I've
sir.
been
Well,
listening to y'all for a little bit, so
yeah. Well, all right. Then just like Chris was saying, we'll get right into it. Right, we were talking about the 50th season. We were talking about David just now.
hmm
You were also able to experience David and experience like just that era of the Spurs. How was that? What was the feeling when you were watching that kind of stuff growing up?
yeah. So I mean, and it's great. I I remember going to the Alamo Dome, like back in the day, watching all these guys. So
Hmm.
it's awesome that they're gonna. I was listening to y'all saying they're gonna throw the segments in. I'm very excited to see what they're gonna talk about, who they're gonna interview, what they got to say. But I was just talking with Celeste like a little while ago, like we got tickets to the Alamo Dome game, so I get to take my son, Jackson, to go see the Spurs play in the Alamo Dome like I used to back in the day. So I was like, man, it's gonna be sweet. So I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to the season. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And then I mean, like how was to throw it back into David, right? What was like the feeling that you get when you see David on the court?
Well,
Like
it's I guess back in the day, you don't you kind of just appreciate him then and now, but like I mean then and there. But I always think like, man, I wish I could see David play with like in today's. I feel like he was before his time. That dude was like a freak of nature. He was. I mean, y'all, you see the pictures. You see how fast he was. You see how strong he was. Like he could dribble. He could shoot. Like I feel like David Robinson would dominate today's game. So it was awesome to see him dominate. Back then. So it was awesome.
for sure, for sure. I guess I would definitely agree with that in the sense that if David played against Anthony Davis, it'd be no contest.
Barbecue chicken.
It would be barbecue chicken. I know Chris was saying he doesn't want to throw shade this early, but I
The
don't think
lefty,
there's
he was a lefty like Chris too.
Yeah.
exactly. I don't think it's there's no late time to throw shade at Lakers. So that's that's the thing
Never too
that I
early.
want to start off.
It's
Yeah.
never too early.
But Chris, how was growing up watching David? What were some great moments for you, man?
Well, I mean, like we were coming up, still pretty young during like the '03. So I mean, like we checked in at when he was the vet, right? And he is the anchor, and he was just the face and the heart of the community of San Antonio at that time for at least through my eyes, right? And then I think his military background and all that kind of stuff, it kept going. Like you felt that influence of like all of that kind of stuff, and that connection between like the military and the Spurs, like all the way until I don't know the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? So like that's kind of the, if you can think about that vibe and some of the negativity, right? Like the camo Spurs jerseys or something, right? But that vibe, like that's kind of the energy he was
They're
bringing
not all
at,
bad.
no. I'm just saying, like, but that was some of the energy he was bringing at the time that I was coming up when I was young. So same with Josh. Like, it would have been great to have seen him in his prime, and even back then, like, it was harder to. You could just go on YouTube and watch David Robinson play in 1995. You know what I'm saying? Now you can do, you can find videos and do all that kind of stuff. So it's been great to go backwards, but I'm at the age where I did have to kind of go backwards a little bit for David. So.
For sure, for sure. Juan, do you have any moments or anything that you can think of when it comes to David, like things that kind of stay close to you and what not being able to watch him as growing up, but able to like appreciate what his greatness was from that.
Yeah, so I was only 5 in 2003 when he retired.
Yeah.
So like being able to, I guess, be around, like I have certain memories of like the family celebrating, maybe like a championship like that. But like what Chris has said and Josh, like David's impact around the Spurs to this day, like has not gone unnoticed to somebody like me who didn't really get to experience him as a player, and like seeing him still in the community. Um, I would get hyped when they would show him in the stands, watching the game. And I would just be like, oh my gosh, like that's David Robinson, and like you would see the highlights. And like, obviously for me, like I was watching Tim Duncan. So like they would always talk about like Tim Duncan's mentor, and Tim Duncan always had such high praise and like he loved him, and it just, every time I would see David, I was like that in my mind, like a lot of people say like David helped instill that culture that Tim Duncan just continued.
Yeah.
And I feel like to this day it's still there. David still run the organization. He still offers a lot of insight and just
Yeah, and it's awesome that we get to see he gets to be one of those guys because of his career and his dream team influence and all that. He gets included in a lot of the like the NBA stuff. He gets to be an ambassador for us on the bigger stage still to this day. And so like even last year seeing him, getting to talk about DeJounte Murray and the what I mean, it's like the way that he speaks. It's like, God, you just want to be around that energy, right? So like
Mhm.
yeah, I'm fortunate, or we're fortunate that we still get to see him fairly often, at least, you know, as a retired player, you still get to see him fairly often.
and
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Jake was born literally after David had already retired. In the
that is
summer 2003, Jake was born, so he completely missed David's
that
career.
is true. That is true. I was born as because NBA Finals happened in June. I assume that back in 2003 that it's still close to the same time frame, right? That you're getting an NBA Finals in May/June, and I was born in July. So I was born a month after David retired.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's like the celebration season, so like the all the good energy is still in the air. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
exactly.
I
Or he saw
think.
you coming, and he was like, "I'm out."
Do we go honking?
he
So
saw you. He saw you coming.
technically, Jake went honking in '03.
Oh,
right.
there we
Maybe.
go.
Because I was just born.
Yeah.
No,
You
um.
you were
you're
in
in
the
the
womb.
belly.
You
In
were
the
in the womb,
sun.
but you
Oh,
were
Yeah.
there.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
you were
yes,
there.
yes, I was there. I was there. I was celebrating. Um, but yeah, I mean, just like Juan was saying, I was born after David's whole career, so I didn't really get to watch, or I didn't get to experience anything about David. But just like Manu, you grow up as a lefty, and I'm sure Chris can attest to this. You grow up as a lefty, and you just gravitate yourself towards the lefties. You just start seeing like, oh, these are the guys who are, they have like the same little things that I will kind of do as a lefty.
Tendencies,
And
huh?
yeah, exactly the same little tendencies, right? Except for I'm not, jumping up and throwing it down like David would. But um
Yeah, I would block Shaq just like that too.
exactly, right? No, so I mean, you grow up and you're just like, well, what can I do that's what lefties would do, what a right-handed person won't do, what a lefty would do. And David certainly had a lot of those things that I grew up and I was just like, man, I want to be just like that. I want to be able to
Yeah.
to throw it down over all of my brothers, just like how David would. But uh, let's just say that it just didn't turn out that way. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all good.
Mhm.
Um, so we're going into the 50th season, guys, and we know what our